All right, welcome in everybody to another episode of Tucketeer Hogcast. I'm your host, Bones. Once again with us is Buck and Camo. We're having a little bit of a difficult time getting on Facebook Live. We have it all set up properly, but it's not on there.
Imagine that.
And I don't know why.
Facebook not cooperating.
Yeah, it shows that we are. So I'm going to be working on that, and y'all goobers talk about something.
Filibuster a little bit.
Filibuster a little bit for me. Well, I mean, obviously a disappointing loss Saturday. Not what we thought it was going to be.
Our snake bit in Dallas.
Yeah.
Snake bit in Dallas for sure. And it's like I said last week, Buck, it was another close game. The trend continued of losing another close one, not only for the Hogs this season and into last season, but just in Dallas, period, at the Southwest Classic.
Soon as I trusted them. As soon as I trusted them.
That's what they do, man.
Oh,
what they do.
Every year.
And we all three had a win.
It's the same old, same old. I mean, another close one, another heartbreaker. We could have won. We should have won. But I'm tired of saying that, you know?
Yeah. Well, your Bills and the Razorbacks lost. You had a bad weekend.
Bad weekend.
Well,
yeah,
there's
Bills.
always next week.
Them Buffalo
Unless
Bills
you're playing
sucked it
Tennessee.
up.
Well,
Tennessee this year.
What?
Caleb is not Calebing right now.
I told y'all to filibuster so I can figure this
how
stuff
long you
out.
need?
I need to figure out why it's not.
Well, we'll take the time to thank our viewers. If you're watching us, we appreciate you.
Sure.
We've had a lot of our friends and people reach out over the last few weeks. We really appreciate you watching. Family, friends, co-workers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you want to sponsor us, reach out to us. We'll take all this.
Sure.
Are we sponsored right now?
We'll throw you some plugs.
No, we're not sponsored right now. We weren't able to make a deal work with I'm not going to mention their names, but the previous people who reached out to us. But I mean, we're technically are sponsored by Cambro Roofing and Construction and Seal Solar.
Yeah, for sure. We got two minor.
Yeah, I mean they
have under the table sponsors.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what is going on with Facebook Live, but I'm going to quit messing with it so we can get this rocking and rolling. Hogs lose. Another heartbreaking loss. Another 1 point or one score loss.
Well, you know what's frustrating? Again, just like in Oklahoma State, Bones and Buck, we beat them in every facet of the game. If you look at the box score, total yards, passing yards, first downs, time of possession, all of those things. The only thing they beat us in was rushing, and that was by 34 yards.
After time and time again of that happening, who are you going to blame that on?
You can't blame it on just one.
Oh, well.
Buck's trying to put you in a corner.
Yeah, I mean, again, we ended the last episode that way, putting me in a corner.
I'm just saying.
Now you're starting off with
you got to blame it on somebody. You got to put the blame on somebody, whether it's multiple people or one person. And
I'll tell you,
the number one factor I see for us losing that game was our offensive line not being able to block.
I'll put this,
mainly in the passing game.
Yeah.
But a little bit in the running game as well, because they had a dominant, talented D-line and linebackers.
They had a good scheme against us. They've got a good front
with
seven.
Our offensive, line coach, you got to put a little bit of blame on him. But also our head coach is supposed to be a quote-unquote expert O-line coach, correct?
Absolutely. And I was going to say this. I'm very
some
supportive.
of the blame's got to go on him.
I'm very supportive about Pittman.
At some point.
I'm very supportive of Pittman. I'm optimistic about what he can do, and I'm not really.
He's a great guy, quote unquote.
Well, he's a good coach too. People want to play for him. People want to coach with him. Coaches want to coach.
He's a raw coach for sure
because they enjoy the way he handles people, and just his demeanor is positivity.
He's Arkansas.
I feel like he's a very
Arkansas
positive
for
coach,
sure.
and
Yep.
he's very Arkansas.
Yep.
Whatever that means, I hope the Arkansas fans out there know.
I mean, yeah,
it's
pretty
what that means.
self-explanatory.
He just seems like Arkansas. But I'll say this: if any loss, which is it's 2, we're 3-2, like many teams right now in the SEC, just like Kentucky who beat Ole Miss, but they're sitting there at 3-2 as well. We just haven't had a marquee win yet. And I hope it's coming. Either it be LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss has already seen.
Well, some satisfied fans are saying Auburn's probably that win that we have, but that ain't they ain't any good. I mean,
2 probable losses on our schedule, and that's Texas and Tennessee. The rest are winnable games if we play our best. But I'll go back to what I was saying about Sam Pittman. I think he would take more of this loss on his shoulders than any of them. And I say that because he took some risk with the fake field goal. And the punt worked out, but the fake field goal, not putting the starting defensive line at the end of the game, and then the offensive line.
Not only the fake field goal, but wasting a timeout in order to do that. I mean, what were they thinking?
Maybe just they wanted the fresher guys in there, but you can't have.
I mean, that makes no sense to me. If you're going to go for it, what was it? 4th and 2, 4th and 3? It was pretty short.
It was sure, Michael.
It is now. I mean, it was 4th and something. I don't think it was 4th and 1 or 2. I think we would have lined up and went for it and on that short of the field. Obviously, we don't
it was
trust our
4th and
kicker.
3. It was 4th and 3.
It was something pretty short.
Up 5, and it was 4th and 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my disappointing factor of the game is we only ran the ball 30 times and passed it 41 times.
How many yards did we have?
We had 146. We gained 146 on rushing, but we only netted 100. And then 168 passing.
So 300.
No, sorry, 279 passing yards passing.
How many attempts passing?
We had 41 passing attempts. 23 of those were completions.
I mean, we weren't
getting 50% of his completions. Basically.
A lot of people are saying we abandoned the run game, but I mean,
we did abandon the run game.
There's a reason, though.
Absolutely, we were getting
the
run game
manhandled up front. We were getting
manhandled. Had 10 carries that he averaged 4 yards a carry. Every 3 carries is a first down. If
he had a couple
the ball.
Decent runs, though, out of that. I mean, a lot of those were
had more
zero or negative plays.
You said he had a couple decent runs, a few decent runs. He would have had more if you'd have gave it to him.
I don't know if you can say that. Our line seemed to me, it got worse throughout the game.
Bobby abandoned the run. He completely abandoned the run. In a close game, which I don't know why you abandoned the run in a game you're in. I could see abandoning the run.
He wasn't trusting the defense,
2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but not when you're up 17-14.
He also was trying to prove a point. I mean, that's his. He coached there the year before. He was trying to come in there and prove his worth.
Yeah,
and I don't think he did. To be honest,
yeah, I mean,
it was one of the worst coach
games. I think it was his worst coach.
I think the coaches would take more of this loss on.
I would agree. It's his worst coach game out of the 4 games we've had.
Yes,
or 5 games we've had. Yeah.
Well, I noticed since our very first episode, I brought up that line judge that ref the Arkansas UAPB game, Chris Snuggs and I noticed
Alabama.
He reffed that game again.
He reffed the Arkansas game. I saw him on the A&M sideline, and so I went to the stats as soon as I could whenever they were released, and sure enough, Chris Snuggs was a line judge in that game.
Really?
And so
and for the viewers, his last name is Snuggs.
Is it you? You're paying.
I'm gonna have to talk.
It's Chris Snuggs. His name.
Talk to him because that's not what we agreed on the outcome of that game. Hit up my old cousin, but
Barry Jones wasn't paying the
biggest
yeah. But not only I think we abandoned the run, but on the biggest question also on their A&M's last drive is why was our starting defensive line not on the field?
Yeah.
Why was Landon Jackson? It was that
which was having drive in the game.
That arguably was having his best game this season.
Not on the field. Yeah, was my.
Why was he not on there?
Too.
Maybe they seen something that we didn't see, like lack of effort or something.
Lack of effort.
I mean,
he had 2 sacks.
Right, but there might have been a few plays that they had lack of effort that the coaches, might.
I think there's more
Sniff
questions
out.
on the offensive line than the defensive line. So I think they'll be okay.
Right.
Maybe not
That's
against
kind of what I
Tennessee,
was
but through
saying.
the
Like,
year,
why
they'll be
not just
okay.
leave them in? And if you can't leave them in, why don't they have good enough stamina? Why can't we coach that up during the summer?
Well, we got tired in the double overtime Oklahoma State game. So you're kind of
you can't blame other games on being tired this game, though.
I start questioning
if you can't get up for this game, there's something wrong with you. I mean, that's what I'm.
Well, you can get up all you want, but if you don't have the conditioning to where you're prepared,
that again goes back to the coaching.
Playing.
That again
That's
goes.
what I'm saying.
What's the most disappointing loss? Was it this one or was it Oklahoma State?
This one.
See, I think I'm saying Oklahoma State because we had the game won.
We had both games.
We had.
We were up more against Oklahoma State. It looked
not have
better.
This game won like we did against.
Okay,
we had both games won.
We went into Oklahoma State thinking that we would probably lose. Thinking that we probably lose. You had a win.
I had a win.
But I'm saying in Stillwater on a true road game. This is not technically a true road game.
That's why I'm saying this is the most
going into Oklahoma State and beating as number 16 team in the country at the time was, to me, a far ask for the Razorbacks. But this one, we actually expected to win. All three of us expected to win. We knew we were capable of beating A&M. We just come off a win from Auburn. And then we turn around and pretty much lay an egg in the second half.
Seems like every year.
And couldn't get the win.
It
was a very winnable football game. Very winnable football game. This one's way more frustrating than Oklahoma State.
Like we said last week, the A&M game has always been a pivotal point in our season. The last few years.
A pivotal point?
Not a pivotal, but a pivotal. Pivotal.
Which word are you using? Pivotal or pivotable?
No, the game itself is not pivotable.
Both are words, right?
Both are words, but
he proved that this week.
Right.
That might be but I think we just didn't execute on offense like we should have and that we know we could. And just like every week, it's Taylen Green. I know he's getting rushed.
Every play, I swear I'm looking at him, he's getting rushed out of the pocket. It's almost every play. He's getting rushed out of the pocket.
But the interception that he threw, he got rushed out of the pocket. But when he's
getting happy feet because he's scared. Y'all would be scared too. He
could have ran the ball.
Y'all would be scared too.
But he could have ran the ball instead of
running. You drop back on that O-line, you'd be scared too, right? Camo, you'd be scared. I'd be scared.
I think there's times
I'd be terrified.
He bails early.
I would have to look back this way because I'd be thinking the whole time I'm getting smeared.
I get that.
But he wasn't looking back when he
he's getting happy feet in either throwing it or running out of the pocket.
I get
making a terrible decision
for a reason. But there's a few times he bails early.
What I'm saying is you can't blame him.
But they're really not coming. We really get the block. Take a step up, find a guy quick.
We can't sit here and blame
his first read. If his first read ain't there, he's bailing and trying to run off.
I would do the same thing if I was that, fast. I would do the same thing, and he's probably coached that way. He knows his offensive line is terrible.
I promise you, Bobby Petrino's not going, hey, if your first read's not there, take off and run.
I don't know. I don't know.
I promise you.
I would have to go back to the Louisville days against, when he had Lamar Jackson back then because I'm pretty sure he ran a lot.
Well, speaking of that, he reminds me a lot, obviously, of Lamar Jackson, but young Lamar Jackson. I went back and watched some Lamar Jackson highlights when he was at Louisville, and he made some really questionable throws when he was there and Bobby was his coach.
He ran a lot, though.
That
was part of his whole thing.
Right. But, so that kind of puts it for me.
And he was throwing against teams like Marshall and Ball State.
You can say that, though, but the style of play is the same, though.
Yeah,
and it's just not going to work in this.
The concept is the same, but the competition is not.
Not the speed. Not the speed and not the competition. Well, I don't know if we're going to have Colts Corner this week or not. Colt, if you're out there, you're listening,
probably
go ahead and
crying
call
his
in
Cheerios. And
he said he wasn't.
He texted me after the game, though.
He said he wasn't giving his opinions, right?
No, but we had a text exchange after the game on Saturday. It was pretty.
I can only imagine that
it actually went well. We actually agreed on two things.
What? We suck?
No, we both said it would be the most Arkansas thing ever for us to beat Tennessee.
It would be. It would be.
We lose this game.
Now with that, are you predicting a win this week or?
We ain't there.
You're putting the cart before the horse, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so I talked to Colt yesterday for a little bit, and told him obviously we were moving it to today, but I don't want to speak for him in case he does call in, but I think he's ready to move on from what we have. And
well, I'll say this: if we lose this game, I'll be in favor. If we go to 3-3, which probably will, I'll be in favor with trying to do maybe a dual quarterback system that Bobby throws Singleton in, maybe in 3 or 4 series of the game, and see what he can do. Get him some experience, because
all I gotta say is name one great team that's ever done that.
I'm not trying to be great at this point.
I am.
Obviously, we're not great. We're 3-3.
We can still be great if we win out, right?
But hey, it's just.
I mean, that's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, it can still happen.
It's like we said when we were playing Auburn.
It's a possibility.
You said I like our chances because when you have
I got oceanfront property.
when you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback or whatever you said.
Yeah, if you've got 2 quarterbacks, it's the saying goes is you have no quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't have a quarterback good enough to go, he's our guy. We're putting him in there, and you're kind of seesawing on.
There's got to be one leader on the team on the offense,
you obviously
especially.
It's
got to be the quarterback. Yeah. I mean, the greatest.
But we do have doubts on both. Singleton's young, and Taylen's been ineffective. And
let me ask this: Do you trust Singleton?
The third leading passer in the SEC.
Do you trust Singleton?
I don't know if I trust him because
against an SEC defense.
I haven't seen him. I can't say that.
From what you've seen,
I feel like he's more.
You have to.
More accurate.
You're Bobby Petrino this week.
He can't run as well, but
say the first 3 drives they don't get a touchdown. We don't get no points. You put them in.
Here's the deal: we're already playing Green, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We go to 3-3. We've already been playing Taylen Green. Why not put Singleton in there for 2 series straight? Don't just put him in a series and yank him out like they did against whoever they put him in when he was doing bad. What was it, Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State.
Okay, so why don't you put him in there for 2 or 3 series straight, see what the dude can do. He's more accurate than Taylen. He may not can get out of the pocket and run like Taylen, but let's just see what he can do for 2 or 3 series. That way us fans and the coaches and the team can go, okay, we've seen what we need to see. I don't feel like 1 series is enough with him on the Oklahoma State to be able to make a determination what single can and cannot do.
Yeah,
I'm not there every practice though, so I don't know what they're seeing in practice. And if it's not there in practice, then you can't put them in the game. If you're not seeing the talent in practice.
Yeah.
So it just depends on
Mississippi State. Maybe Mississippi State's a game you put Singleton in and really see what he can do with 5 games left. Because we'll at that point we'll have Texas, Ole Miss, La Tech, and Missouri left. We'd have 4 games left. That would be the 5th to last game.
So we talked about it at the first episode, I'm pretty sure, on whether Sam Pittman is getting fired this year and what's the number he has to get to. So what is the number? Y'all both said 6, right?
He's got to be bowl eligible to keep his job. That's what I said.
Y'all still agreeing to that?
That's 3 more wins. I think we're going to get there. I feel like I'll hit that right on the number.
So 6 wins saves his job.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, and 7 and 6 with the bowl.
What did you say though? What did you say?
It's got to be 7. It's got to be 7.
7 is the bowl game.
7 wins.
7's the bowl
before the bowl game.
So you want to go 8? What if he loses the bowl game and wins 7 but loses the bowl?
Put him in the corner.
I say. So if he wins 7 and loses the bowl,
if he gets to the 7,
it depends who leaves. It depends who leaves. It just depends who leaves.
I would rather win 6 games and win the bowl and go 7 and 6 than go 7 and 6.
I still say 7 regular season games is the only way he keeps his job.
If I was
6, he needs to be fired.
If I was on your side, I would say the bowl
5.
game,
He's definitely fired. Right? We all agree 5 wins or
the bowl
less.
Game doesn't
he's
matter
fired
if you win or lose because bowl games they don't mean shit anymore. I mean, it's just for.
And I love Sam Pittman. And don't get me wrong, for anyone out there who thinks I'm a hater,
it's just for fun.
I'm not a hater. I love the guy to death, but he's got to produce. I mean, it's the same crap every year. It's the same crap.
That's why what I'm going to say about this game this week later is going to be really, I think, important to maybe to listen and grasp onto because I think it's a pretty big game for us this week. Not just because it's the primetime game I think when they scheduled it, they were kind of hoping for a 4-1. And
I think Pittman's going to have to win one of these against Tennessee, Texas,
Ole Miss or Missouri.
Ole Miss or Missouri. He's got to win at least one.
I would like to go 2-2 in those 4 games.
Maybe he might have to win 2.
Definitely 1-3. We got to go 1-3 in those 4 games. At least.
It's like I don't know if y'all saw Greg McElroy at the
to get the bowl eligibility, we'll have to because
Little
Mississippi
Rock
State and La Tech is left.
Yeah.
For
but
sure
he said, Arkansas is going to beat.
Sure. Yeah.
He said Arkansas is going to beat a team that we're not supposed to, like a Tennessee or a
I watched that.
Yeah, but we're also susceptible to a La Tech or a
if we
Mississippi
play really
State.
bad and they play really good, like a UAB.
That's what I'm saying. We could lose one of those games.
Yeah, we've already been shown UAB could have beat us very easily if we didn't step it up.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
well, what's the high low? Wrap this game up in Arlington. What is the high low of the game? What do you think is the number one thing we did really well, and what is the thing you think we did the worst?
I think really well we defended the run.
It seems
they still had 134 yards rushing, but I think we defended the run really well. Most of that, it would have been under 100 if we stopped them on that last drive because they rushed for 60 plus.
So you're playing into what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I think the high would be this is the best special teams game we've played. We kicked that long field goal to go up 17-14, which was a really long field goal right through the middle. Ramsey rammed it through there, and then also with the fake punt,
the fake punt, and the punt,
good. And the punt
that
pinned him down at the half-yard line.
That's a 1 yard.
So this was the best special teams game we played. Special teams going to be my high, and my low would be the offensive line. Yeah. If we would have played better on that offensive line, we would have definitely won that football game.
So you were at the game. There was 61,000 folks there. Was it loud? Was it packed?
They said 80,000, but
yeah. The official NCAA attendance is 60,928.
Okay. Well, it was very, very loud, but I will say by a small margin, there was more Arkansas fans than A&M fans. But on the
I
flip
watched
side
it on TV.
A&M,
it seemed
you can't go off TV because it's where
I know that.
It's so hard to tell.
It really is.
But stadium.
But Arlington,
it looked like we had a little bit more fans.
A&M was louder, but we had more fans.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, Hog fans? Get your ass on your feet and call the Hogs when you're at the game.
You calling them out over here?
Yes, I am. Yeah. We need to. It's like when we're doing good, we'll get loud. But when it's just through the game, it's like, okay, we'll sit down and chew on our nachos. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
be
loud at the game.
I'm gonna be
we
them.
Need to be the
I agree with you.
man.
I agree with you. But when you're seeing the same old shit every damn year, we're seeing the same crap.
Okay,
we have a chance of winning, and guess what? Guess what? No, I'm loud. I'm just, you know me.
I know
I'm loud. I'm just saying, like,
you woo pig for life, or you don't woo pig at all.
That's right.
I woo pig every time. I'm just saying.
When it's easy for those
non-woo piggers out there,
don't be woo pigging when it's easy to woo pig.
Maybe when we're not doing so good, maybe they don't want to woo pig. That's what.
Then get your ass at home.
Give them a break. We don't have a damn winning culture over here. We have Sam Pittman as our head coach.
That's no reason not to woo pig.
It's not. But look at the last 5 years. What's our best year? 9 wins. 9 wins in a bowl game that 6 of the starters was out on each team. Not even meaning crap against Penn State. That's our best year.
9-4. That's almost a double-digit win season.
Right.
And one of those 4 losses was like a 3-point loss to Alabama or something. Like, we could have very easily won 10 games that year and would have been the first 10-win season since Petrino.
Wasn't that our only win against A&M in the last 12 years that year?
No, not in the last 12 years.
Yeah,
it was.
Oh, in the last 12.
Well, 10 years since they joined the SEC.
Definitely Sam Pittman's
12 years, sorry, because they joined in 2012.
But they said we were going for
only win against Missouri, too, in the past Sam Pittman's career.
Yeah, they were going for like their
we beat them 2 or 3 years in a row with Bobby.
What I'm saying is, the fans that ain't, woo pig all the time, obviously we are, then maybe they want to see something special to cheer about. And they're seeing all this crap, the same crap every year. We can't put it together.
I get that. But A&M hasn't, they haven't had the best thing, either. Last year they were Jimbo Fisher. But I promise you, even last year, if you were at the game, you would say that A&M's fans were louder than Arkansas fans. And I'm tired of going to the games in a neutral site.
Do you think we were a better football team?
Them being louder than us.
Do you think we're a better football team?
Then what?
A&M.
Yeah,
yes.
I think we're a better football team.
Look at coaching and everything together.
Coaching, all the way around.
Absolutely.
I think we're a better football team.
We were the better football team.
But we lost the game.
I think we matched up.
We beat them in every, box
score. Who's to blame? So you're getting to my point. Who's to blame from here?
You're getting 5 or 6 motion penalties before the ball snap. I mean, it's
who's the main person? You have to put it on one person.
No,
who's
you don't put it on one person.
Santa Claus.
I mean,
one person's not out there making the schemes. You got to, as a quarterback, you got to know how to line up against them.
What's Sam Pittman's expertise? What's our worst point of the football team?
Yes, we know what point you're trying to make. You're trying to make last week, but it's not one person. It's not Sam Pittman.
You would think he's known for 2 weeks now, for sure. 2 weeks for sure. The O-line is terrible. He's got to make an adjustment somewhere.
They're still terrible.
I've not seen any improvement.
But what do you say about the
cornerback
missing the tackle on the long pass, the first touchdown they scored? The cornerback missed the tackle. If he makes that tackle, they may not score. You can't blame the loss on one. Now you can put the spotlight on the O-line, saying that they may have more questions in any position on the field.
If our O-line blocked better that game,
it's not just the offensive line's fault.
We would have won, right? Y'all both agreed to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they would have played better, because everybody else played decent enough, but they still made mistakes, But if I had to give more of the fault of the loss to any position on the field, it would be the offensive line.
For sure.
Whatever, how you're going to break the percentages down.
I think A&M exposed us more than any other team and gave our other future opponents, including Tennessee, the best game footage and film to study on how to beat us.
And this is what's cool. And this banter back and forth, this open dialogue about the Hogs. Do you not think the coaches do this? They sit around the table, they open a Coors Light, and they'll go, "Hey, T. Will," and I'm Bobby. I'm talking from Bobby's perspective. T. Will, if you were going and scheming a defense against my offense and against our personnel, how would you attack?
They did that all summer.
And then Bobby would obviously go, "Okay, well, against our defense, I'd do A, B, C, X, Y, Z." And then that way it kind of gives you an idea of what these other coaches probably on the other sidelines are trying to do.
Yeah.
Then you try to counter that kind of stuff, and of course we've got analytics and they're a lot smarter than you and I. But if that they have to be doing that.
Yeah.
No,
I mean you're probably right, and I'm sure they are. And like Buck said, we're not obviously no one's in the film room and in the coach's room. But no one's at practice either. I mean, they're all closed practices. We don't know what's going on. So you got to think, hopefully they are seeing
Mabel Singleton just had a really good outing, that first game. And you're thinking he's a lot better than he is.
But also our backs are in the corner now. So we're not going to practice Singleton with this. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't. You got to practice now. If you haven't already, you got to practice now with who's going to put you in the best situation to win the game. And right now, I think it still is Taylen Green.
Okay, but
and so
you're still taking snaps. He gets 40%, 65, 70, and then Singleton gets 30, and then the third string quarterback gets 10% of the snaps.
I wouldn't be surprised if number 2 QB is getting
with our O-line.
30% of the snaps in practice.
Let's think though. With our O-line play, with the escapability of Green, because he's getting out of the pocket every time. Whether he makes a good decision or not, probably not. But you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying.
Can Singleton get out of the pocket like that?
That's why
our O-line plays terrible. Can you put him in?
He's the best.
No,
best person for us to. No. As far as winning the game, we have to play him.
We have to play Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like Joe Flacco. It's just like Tom Brady. It's just like guys that are statues back there. They may have not had the best.
We started out against A&M.
They get it out of their hand quick,
passing the short passes. Passing the short passes. A&M made the adjustments.
We started with a 75-yard bomb to Isaac Test.
Well, besides that play, that one play, the whole first half was a bunch of short dumps, screens, little drag routes, little out routes, and it was short and dump in all the first half. Besides
the
that
first
one
time.
play, it was all maybe a couple shots, but they didn't work other than the test play. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason for that because their old line is terrible.
But you know.
But they picked up on it.
It's the quarterback holding it too long and bailing too early, and then it's the offensive line. It's not just they didn't block their guy. Taylen's running for his life all the time. Now it may be 60-70%.
I'm not
of the
saying
time,
that's the.
but sometimes
the whole
Taylen.
problem.
There was 3 times I know because I was at the game and it happened to be on my end of the field because I was in the corner that he felt pressure. We blocked it up.
He's got happy feet.
Well enough to hold it for another second or two and get out of your hands. But instead, he bails off to the right. But the right tackle tried to hold his block, but the guy seen it, the defensive end seen that he was running out to the right. So he left his block and went and chased him down basically and had to throw
That goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you were the quarterback, knowing the offensive line is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, come on. Would you stay in the pocket and not have happy feet? Because I would be bailing every chance I get.
Tyler Wilson did. Tyler Wilson stepped in there and took shot after shot after shot after shot and delivered.
I'm just saying, you can't blame a guy for bailing because the offensive line is terrible.
Not saying
they're not blocking for him, and he's watching his backside, and I would be too if I was the quarterback.
Well, he's unconfident.
I would be too,
and he is, getting happy feet. But Tyler Wilson, the difference between Taylen Green and Tyler Wilson is Tyler Wilson stood up there and delivered the football. Taylen Green's bailing out and being inaccurate.
Yeah, he is. I mean, just.
What did I say? Did I say Traylon again?
No.
I don't think so.
I thought I said Taylen.
No.
Well, let's go ahead and get to our Woo Pig Cueies tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So cue up the music and let's get it going.
I got a couple serious ones and a couple funny ones might make y'all like, what? That's a question?
I would not expect anything less.
I mean, that's, it's me asking questions over here. So, number one, we'll start out with an Arkansas question. Which Arkansas player has the most kick return yards in a single season? Felix Jones, A. B. Dennis Johnson, C. Cedric Washington, D. Lance Ray.
Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson. B.
Y'all are both correct. Dennis Johnson holds number one and number two spots, 2009 and 2008, with 1,000 yards.
I think there was 1 year he took 3 to the house.
He had 1 year he had for sure like 100-yard.
So with this week's matchup,
first play of the season.
This week's matchup coming up, Tennessee and Arkansas. So with this matchup in mind, when was the first matchup of Arkansas and Tennessee, and who won the game? Was it A, 1922, 9-6 Vols, 1971, 14-13 Vols, 1907, 14-2 Vols, or D, 1966, 10-0 Hogs?
I'll go B again.
Can you go through just the years? Don't do the
1922 is A 1922, B 1971, C 1907, D 1966.
I'm going to go and we haven't played them that often. I'm going to go 1966.
What'd you say?
I said B, 1971, I think.
It was 1907.
First
time
we ever played them?
The game was played in Little Rock, and Tennessee won 14-2, and it was an unknown stadium. So I thought that was weird.
Unknown stadium.
Yeah.
Played out in a cornfield.
Probably 1907. All right, number 3.
Yeah,
Which of the following statements is true? A, Arkansas was the host of the first tug of war national open championships. B, until 1991, soccer was illegal in Mississippi. C, basketball was actually invented by a woman in Virginia.
This is already weird.
D, tobacco spitting is actually an amateur sport invented in Kentucky.
I'm going to go that one.
I'm going to go D too.
Crazy.
No, it's B. Until 1991, soccer was illegal
in Mississippi.
Until
what year?
1991. And the reason
That
was
just sounded
because
absurd.
they said
I thought
football,
he made
quote
that one
unquote,
up.
football, soccer was a European culture gateway drug.
Wow.
They're not very forward thinking down there in Mississippi.
1991. I mean, you were born then. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. How many days, if any, a year is there no professional sports played? NBA, NHL, NFL, NBA, MLB,
Okay.
all of them. A1, B5, C7, D2.
How many years?
How many days,
How many days?
if any, a year? How many days a year is there no professional sports played?
Go to the options again.
A1, B5, C7, D2.
I think I'm going to go C7.
I'm going to go B5.
It's D, 2 days out of 365 a year feature no professional sports, and that is the day before and the day after the MLB All-Star break.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Here's a
Makes
even
sense.
stupider question. Kite flying.
Wait, time out. This is the last one.
This
right?
is the last
And
one,
we're
number
one-
5.
We're tied.
We're 1-1.
Y'all both
Right.
got the same question. Yeah. All right. Kite flying is a professional sport in which country? I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to y'all weeks
I
back.
just got to remember
You
that.
got to remember. I told you I was going to bring it up. A, Norway. B, Switzerland. C, Thailand. D, Poland.
I'm going to go Norway.
I'm going to say Switzerland.
It is C, Thailand. I told y'all this was
You had me with the Norway because
Oh
yeah,
my
that's why I put it in
God.
there. I knew you
That
would
is
guess that.
Bullcrap.
It's the only professional, and the object of the game is to cut down or knock the other opponent's kite down out of there.
yeah.
So,
Well, that's cool.
Well, cool.
I need to go to Thailand.
You know what's in Thailand?
what's that?
Never mind.
Kites.
Apparently,
Damn kites.
We're waiting on an answer here.
well, I was going to say something, and it's very inappropriate, and so I'm not going to say it.
Oh, you're talking about the capital.
Well, but it's. I was going to go like a couple steps further than the way I've done that. So, all right, back to this. So, I do have a question. Obviously, we're talking about where we could be, where we should be, and where we are.
We could be 5-0.
So, what do you
very easily be 5-0?
Yeah, so that's
what's
my
so
question
frustrating.
is, what do you think? Everyone's asking Sam about Sam Pittman, asking him what he's thinking, how does he feel about him being on the hot seat? What do you think Hunter Yurachek is thinking? What do you think's going through his
He's
mind
feeling the
day
pressure.
in and day out?
He's feeling the pressure. He hears us.
Oh, yeah.
He knows. I think there's a number in his head, and I'm hoping it's an agreement with me and 7
what I
wins.
want to say.
If it's with 6 wins, then we're going to have the same old shit next year.
You know how many games
I
I've
mean,
been to?
Same old crap.
this year or
I've been to 3 games.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not calling y'all out. I'm calling the Razorback Nation out. I'm calling Razorback Nation out. You want to sit there, and I guarantee you half the fans on Facebook that want to go haven't bought a Razorback
I
shirt.
hear you.
Hasn't bought a ticket, but they want to go, oh, this needs to happen and that needs to happen.
They want to see a certain
full of
product
crap
on the
now.
field.
Buy a ticket and go to the game.
They're want to
First.
see a certain product on the field, and the product produce. Is the product producing on the field?
Well, you can
How
wish
good
in
have we
one hand
played at
and
home?
You know what?
How
Neither.
great have we played at home lately?
not very good?
Not very great.
We'll play better if you buy a ticket, show up, cheer on the
Will
Hogs,
we?
and go
Will
Whoop
we?
Pig.
Or will we get our ass kicked by 40?
Well, we might,
I
but
mean,
at least you tried and did
that's
your
what I'm
part as a
saying.
fan.
I mean,
At least you did your part as a fan, and you tried and you showed up.
I'm
and you
just-
said Woo Pig a few times.
I'm just saying the mediocre, the general fan wants to go and see a good product on the field.
And I'll say this, I do
So they're
trust,
fair weather fans. If we're doing good, I'll buy a ticket. But if we suck, I'll sit here and gripe at home.
I'm just saying there's a lot of fans
No,
out there.
that's what you're saying, basically. I'll sit here and gripe at home and get on Facebook, get on my soapbox from my couch, and tell them what they need to be doing when they're the coaches and they're the players, and there's nobody more
Happens
upset
all over
and
the
pissed
world.
off than they are that they lost the game.
Yeah.
Every
Well,
team probably has
but
the
you gotta-
same fans. So.
and you got to think I'm kind of in line with what Buck's saying is we're paying for a product on the field, and the product ain't really good right now.
It's not showing up for us.
But I'm going to the game this week against Tennessee, and I bought upper level tickets, 4 of them, and it was damn near $500.
Yeah.
It's
for this type of
it's $120
marquee game.
And
it wouldn't have been against UAB.
We bought them before we even beat Auburn. So we bought.
If he goes up there this week and say we lose by 40 points, he doesn't think so. But say we did, how great would he feel coming back?
So is he going for the great experience of being on the hill, being with friends, and having a good time, whether we win or lose?
He's going for both. He's going for both.
He's still going to enjoy himself, right?
You can't tell me he's not wanting to go up there and get a win.
Of course he wants to see
That's
the
what I'm
Hogs
saying.
win. But he's not going to be like, well, I wish I wouldn't have bought that ticket because I had no fun now because they lost. I went to Dallas. I had a great time.
If you get your ass whooped, you would say
that.
Went
to the Ring of Honor restaurant where the Cowboys have. Enjoyed it. Of course, I was sitting there going the whole time, I hope the Hogs win Saturday.
Well, it just depends on your money situation, too. I mean, if you save up all year to go to one game and they go and get their ass whooped by 35, you ain't going to want to go back.
Well, that's why you play the game, but you're not guaranteed to win any game.
It just depends on your money situation. That's what it boils down to.
I feel like I'm having an epiphany here because you keep mentioning 40 and 35 and what we talked about before we started. I think you've got us a damn blowout loss this week.
I have a feeling it's gonna. We're either gonna really show up or we're not gonna show up.
No, it's not both. It's not both.
It's one of the two.
Feelings. I want to know
we're gonna have a dang close game, or it's gonna be a blowout.
You can say that about every game. I want to know what
that's what Arkansas is born.
I want to know what you're feeling right now.
Next time
we're going on to the
next time we play a game.
All right, let's go on to it. Tennessee has the most dominant talent that we've played this year so far. We're playing them at home. We haven't played very good at home. Bobby Petrino, you think if he had something up his sleeve, he would have pulled it out
We played better at night there. He played better at night there.
He would have pulled it out last week, right? I mean, that was his last job. A&M. He didn't. We lost,
I think
right?
He did pull out more stuff. We saw a lot more screens.
Our O-line is terrible. Terrible. Unless we get 200-plus yards rushing, we are going to lose this game. And do I think we're going to get that?
Which is when we can't abandon the run.
We're going to abandon it because we're going to get down so much early. And I'm a Hogs fan, and don't get me wrong. I hope they win, and I hope they prove me wrong. But I think they're going to start out killing us, and that's going to put us trying to pass the ball.
What if we get up 21-7 on them?
I'm going to freak out.
I want you to text me when we do. And be like,
you know where I'm going to be.
I pounded the desk, said we're going to be down by 21 in the first 10 minutes.
With the talent difference, and I see their defense. Their defense is great. Their offense has its great moments. It's mostly great. I just don't think we have it. We might have the coaching to keep up with them, but the talent, not even close. So I think we're going to lose this game 42-24.
But is UAB
42-24? That's
Buck.
42-24 is my final score.
You're saying this, and it all sounds great because it makes perfect sense, and you're right. But let's go this flip side of it. Was UAB better coached and a better talent-wise on stars of recruits and recruiting ranks than we were? But did they have a chance to beat the Hogs? Yes.
That proves my point even worse.
That was
a home game.
Let me finish. You had your files.
Okay.
Sometimes in football, the lesser team wins because a team that's not as talented.
You're acting like I'm saying we don't have a chance over here. We have a chance.
That's what you've been talking about. I'll say that.
You said we're going to get blown out the second
I do believe that. I believe we're going to get blown out. But would it surprise me if we show up and actually win the game? Probably a little bit. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is
we're talking in circles.
They have more talent than we do, and that's going to show up on Saturday.
Okay, well that's
there's no arguing that
easy thing to say.
They've got more talent than us.
I mean,
no doubt about it, no question about it.
Appalachian State beating Michigan had way less talent.
We had a talk earlier. Do we have more talent than Oklahoma State?
Yes.
We lost that game. Do we have more talent than A&M?
Yes.
Yes, y'all both believe that? We lost that game.
Okay, so Tennessee
who has more talent now?
But they could lose the game.
They could, but we're Arkansas. and we have Sam Pittman as our head coach.
Okay.
We're going to do the same crap this week, whether we lose by 3 or whether we lose by 33. We're going to lose the game.
You realize like 90% of teams can say what you're saying about their
We're
team.
losing this game.
Unless you're a Georgia or an Ohio State.
Can I say something?
The last game was
Quit hitting the table because my mic is falling. This piece of shit boom arm is broke and it's on the table. Don't mess with it because it's gonna. Don't do it. You're gonna mess it up.
The last game was the pivotal point, if it's pivotal or pivotable point of our season. And we lost it in terrible fashion. I don't even know how we lost that game. I'm still.
So I want to get your thoughts on this week, and before I say what I want to say.
Oh gosh, I think we'll just break it down in 3 things. Obviously, the defense is going to have to play the absolute, even though they've done well all year, and
they've kept us in all.
It's a really highlight of our season so far. As we've all bragged about the defense and how well they've done. So I think our defense is going to have to continue that trend and even jump it up another level and play with the tenacity that we have not played with until at a home and night game in Fayetteville.
Prime time.
Everybody's being loud.
ABC,
be loud.
Chris Fowler, Herb Street, Holly Road, they're all going to be there.
And woo pig the heck
There's
out of your
one
boys.
thing for certain.
I want everybody at the game to be hoarse on Sunday. Make it a point.
We're going to have to win the turnover.
I plan on being hoarse. I've been hoarse every time I go up there.
We're going to have to win the turnover. Have to.
So that was one. Defense is going to have to play with the biggest tenacity, tackle better, play the best game of their life on Saturday. Our O-line, I don't know if we're going to have to put a fullback in and put somebody right behind the center
I think
block
so.
for our quarterback.
Whether
it plays to the right or plays to the left, put a fullback in. Haas is hurt anyway. We're not throwing to him, so might as well take Haas out and put a fullback in.
And what does he have,
and
like
help
2
the
receptions
line
all season?
so we can get the ball out of our hands in 3-2-1 at least, and not 1-2 or 1.5 count.
Yeah.
That's number 2. And 3, I'm going to say Taylen Green is going to have to complete more than 50% of his passes like he's trended the last. He's going to have a mark of 70% completion rating.
That goes back to the O-line, though. I mean,
not all the,
we got a really good chance.
Let's put it this way, bud.
He can't throw that.
Let's say the O-line.
He can't throw that.
Let's say the O-line blocks their ass off on Saturday, but Taylen Green misses 8 passes.
I'd be very surprised.
I'm just saying, let's say the O-line plays the game of their life, and there's a shell around him, and he's got a clear pocket, and he misses 8 of the throws. Are you going to blame that on the offensive line still? Or are you going to say, like you did 2 weeks ago, now it's offensive line. 2 weeks ago, he was inaccurate.
I'm just saying,
you
most
his
of the passes I'm seeing him drop back on, he's dropping back and having a second, maybe a second and a half to get the ball out. And if not, he's having to roll out.
But
he has to, or he's going to be sacked.
But he's missed throws on the run.
Well,
that's supposed to be what he's good at.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's wanting to stay in the pocket. What did Sam Pittman say at the beginning of the year? He said that Taylen Green can run, but he's a pocket passer, right? That's what he said.
He's not a pocket passer.
That's what he said, though. That's what Sam Pittman said.
That's like saying
before the first game
is a pocket passer.
I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying that's what he said. That's what he said. So if we can block for him, let's see what he can do, but we can't. So therefore, he's always on the run. So we're never going to know.
Hopefully, they've got some.
We've got Wes on YouTube saying, "Win or lose Saturday, we still booze." Amen to that, Wes. That's what I'm going with. Yeah. And then he said, "Oh yeah, the O line is straight doo doo, just like them Bills."
Oh man! Hey, the Bills are 3-1.
Let me just tell you one thing.
What is his team? The Raiders.
Yeah, he's a Raiders fan.
What's the record?
Speaking of the Raiders, what's the record? Let me just tell you this. You're not getting Devontae Adams from the Raiders. He's not going to be in Buffalo.
I wish you said that. But
he's not. He said,
I can't believe y'all bringing it up. I just got y'all riled up.
He said he's going to go to the best team with the best quarterback. And I said, that's sure. I said, sure, he's going to the Chiefs?
Yeah, right.
Because he sure as hell ain't in that statement. He ain't going to the Bills.
So
what's the options for him? y'all mentioned.
I think he said the Saints.
Cowboys. No, at first it looked like it was emerging as
Saints and Jets.
Saints and Jets, and then what I saw today was Chargers, Ravens, Steelers, or Cowboys.
Jerry needs to Jerry like he's never jerried before.
I'm just saying the Cowboys got to do something.
Come on, Jerry, go get Devontae Adams.
The Raiders
trash.
They can't guard CeeDee Lamb and Devontae.
Wes is like, yeah, but the Raiders beat the Ravens.
Yeah,
they did.
They did.
That's funny. The NFL so weird this year,
Minshew, I'm a fan of Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. He's a winner. I love that dude.
The Saints beat the crap
right now he's not a winner, but
the Saints beat the crap out of the Cowboys, and then the Saints lost to the Raiders or the Ravens too, right?
The Falcons.
Yeah. Saints lost to the Ravens.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Barely, but like 2 or 3 points.
Right.
Well, I'll give you my take on it, and before I get into there, shout out to Scott, another guy that's going to be at the game that are going to the game with us. But he's a Tennessee fan. He's from Tennessee, so he's going to be in the ugly orange in the midst of we're sitting in the section.
He wears the Tennessee shirt quite a bit. Or one of the other.
Is he calling in?
He's a big Tennessee fan.
I don't know if he's.
I thought you said he's calling in.
I don't know he could if he's watching, but
he's scared.
What's up, Scott?
Yeah, if you're watching, Scott, can't wait to hang out with you, brother.
Yeah.
But he called me today.
One of the coolest dudes around, but he's still Rocky Top.
That's what I'm saying.
He called me.
He don't want to call him with 3-1 pigs.
I'll give you something for your cast tonight. And he said, you can talk about it or you can, but he gave us his thoughts as a Tennessee fan of what it's going to take for the Hogs to win, and that's win the turnover battle, like you said, or maybe you said it.
Said that.
And then Taylen Green, of course, our O-line, the obvious is the O-line, but then Taylen Green's got to be extremely accurate, and he's going to have to, he's going to have
if we're going to pull off the victory, we have to win
the
turnover battle, and we have to have more rushing yards than them.
Yeah.
Those are two things that has to happen.
What he did say, though, is this is going to be the best defense that Tennessee has seen all year. And he thinks our defensive line is as good as any in the SEC. And our secondary...
We're inconsistent.
I think we struggle at tackling at times, but guarding and covering our man and manning up, because we man up quite a bit with T-Will, rolling the dice. Our secondary is pretty solid.
I think he needs to roll the dice.
And we're playing without Jalen Braxton.
We're not blitzing enough. I don't think.
What areas are we inconsistent on defense? What
rushing the passer? That's the main thing. The last game we did.
We haven't shown a lot of blitzes.
Oklahoma State, we did terrible.
Yeah.
No.
Every other game
we haven't come with a lot of those schemes where we're showing blitz and then don't bring it. But so those were his takeaways.
Our run defense is great, and I hope that continues.
Darn good.
But we gotta find a way
that's
to
why
get
he's saying our D line is really good because of
inconsistent though.
Our rushing.
Well, I was trying to see how much against Auburn. I don't remember the stats that for rushing that they had. So Auburn had 146 yards rushing. So I mean we're keeping.
They had 134 last week.
Yeah.
A&M. So I mean
against Oklahoma. Yeah. Or no, A&M. Yeah.
It was 134. Yeah. So we're keeping it right in there. And that's you got to think the 134 is between like the quarterback, 2 other backs, maybe even 3. So it's not like one guy's getting a lot, big chunks and stuff. So, throughout the game, 134 is not that bad. I think that's decent, but it'd be nice to really, stuff the run and pick this guy off.
So y'all heard my score prediction. What's y'all's score prediction?
Well, you never said a score. So give your score, Camo.
Well, Buck kept distracting me. Okay, I'm seeing what I wrote down to see if it changes. Actually, it's not too much difference what I had in my head. I'm going to say 42-24 Tennessee.
Okay. That's exactly what I just said.
Did you say 42-24?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did. Well, I didn't even realize you said that. Well, what I have written down, I'll just go with what I have written down because I don't want to be the same as you, Buck.
So all that optimism over there, you have the same score prediction as me.
No, I changed it when I had in my head, but look,
that's almost a 3 touchdown loss.
I have 41-27 in my book that I wrote down 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
We got 41-27. I'll go with 41-27. That's actually more points for the Hogs. I'll say 41-27.
Well, I'll give you, since we're on
terrible.
scores, I'll give
That's
you.
2-score game. That's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'll give you my score, and which is so funny. We're all very, very close together. Mine's 42-28.
Oh my God!
And I wrote that down before the season started.
I really hope
Are you sticking with it, or are you changing it
I'm
up?
going to stick with it just because I don't think they're going to win by more than 2 touchdowns. I don't think they're going to beat us like you said they could.
You said
by
we're going to lose by 40.
When
I said we
started.
wait. No.
You said we could.
You heard my score prediction. You heard my. Time out. Let me talk. You heard my score prediction, right? I don't think we're going to lose by 40. I'm just saying we can very easily.
Lose any game by 40.
Very easily. Because that's just Arkansas. We're not going to show up, and Tennessee's going to blow us out 45 to freaking 9 or whatever. I mean, it's very. I don't think Ramsey can make 3
field goals. We're going to have to get a safe. We're going to have to get a. We're going to have to get a.
What if he has 7 opportunities because we can't ever drive further than that?
3 of 7, as long as they're from 40 yards in there. But so that's
what if that's a touchdown to miss extra point and then a field goal.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before before y'all chime in. It's kind of like a 2-3 part question.
Okay.
Is this a must-win game? Okay, that's the first question. And if so,
must-win game in regards of what?
For the team.
For the team. Okay. That's where I'm going. Just listen.
Okay.
Is it a must-win game for Pittman, for the team? Because if we lose, is it time to fire Sam Pittman? And if we lose, and if we don't fire Sam Pittman, no matter that, if we do,
I'll say this.
Listen.
Okay.
If we do or don't, are we going to lose the team then? Is it to the point of no return? We've got 3 losses. We're not going to.
Who do you want to answer this first?
I don't care.
I'll go ahead. Sam Pittman, if he loses this game, that's not his job. But he's going to have to win one of the next 2 games for his job, I think. And what was your other part of the question?
Is for the players, is it a must-win game?
For the belief in Sam Pittman? I think if we don't win this game, we're not winning the next game. I don't think that's the
LSU game.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to win that. The players
we have to beat Tennessee in order to beat LSU.
I think so. Just by player belief standpoint, if we lose, it just depends. It also depends how we lose this game. If it's a close game, then maybe not. But if it's a blowout, the players are going to stop believing in the coaching, like altogether.
If you're a prideful man, which all of them are, they're all men on the team, rather than maybe the sporting trainers and stuff.
That's this game. Man, that's this game. I
don't care. I was a part of some really bad Greenbrier Panther losing seasons, but there was never a time that I went out there and left out of the locker room with my buddies and the people I play. And this is just high school ball. So you're playing at the next level. If you lose to Tennessee, you ought to get ticked off and go, you know what? We lost
it's
that
a
one.
lot different.
Next week we're coming out. We're going to jump on them, and we're going to.
You're bringing out the aspect of.
If you're not coming out of the locker room with that attitude, you need to get off the team. I think
there's a main difference you're missing. You're missing the main difference, and that's money. That's a big difference nowadays. Now, if you're a great player like Green and think you can be a star at the next level, which I don't think you will be, but if you're thinking that, then you're going to want to, protect yourself, right? And if we lose this game by a lot, are you going to want to go out and bust your ass for the next game? That speaks in every position.
If you're a high character, highly motivated athlete that wants to do good for your family, remember the name on the front,
right? Today's different though.
They're both important.
You can't disagree.
But for your family, for your coaches, for your friends,
don't play for the name on the front anymore.
Exactly.
They play for the name on the back.
Okay, well then take pride in something. I don't care who you're playing for. Get pissed off and give it your best shot.
They're playing for money. They're playing for money.
Even if you're playing for money, play for your motivation. It'll get you more money next year.
Well,
but what I'll say,
what if they don't want to get hurt?
My rebuttal,
whatever motivates your ass, get out there and do it your best.
My rebuttal to you, Buck, is I don't think if we lose this game, it carries into the LSU game, and we've lost the team because I think players, yes, they might not have.
It's going to carry over a little bit.
They might not have much faith in Sam Pittman, but the defense. I tell you one thing, they're not going to quit on T. Will. There, no way, no how.
Well, no, but
because they didn't quit on Barry Odom.
Yeah,
or who, and then.
But I didn't get to answer your deal.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, real quick. Is this a must-win? Absolutely not. We had this probably chalked up as fans as a loss before the season ever started. And for the players, yeah, I want them to go out there and bust their butt and come up with a big win that's improbable. But if it don't happen, I think you go on and roll on the next week. We're at 500. Let's win out. Let's as a team mentality, you lose to Tennessee, you could still have that mentality. Go, hey, let's win out. Let's go 9-3. That's got to be your goal. And that's what Pittman needs to be telling. That's what Bobby needs to. Hey, yeah, we're 3-3, but guess what? What if we come together and we win out and we're 9-3 and win the bowl game and be 10-3? Until you get to a point where probably maybe lose to LSU and be 3-4 and have Mississippi State, which that's probably going to be a win. Then you're back at 500.
You can't deny the fact that if we
you're at 4-4 going into Ole Miss game. If you pull out the Ole Miss win like Kentucky did, and you're 5-4, and you've got Texas next, say you maybe pull that one out, and then you got La Tech in Missouri, you're looking at a very bright season that flips into where everybody's all down in the dumps and Debbie Downers, and then it turns into a great season. But it can also turn, just like Buck, you're saying, we could lose these next two games, barely beat Mississippi State, lose to Ole Miss, lose to Texas, barely beat La Tech, lose to Missouri, be 5-7, and the season be a huge disappointment. We're not bowl eligible. Sam gets fired. Could it happen that way? Absolutely. It could happen that way very, very easily. But I also say that we could also go 8-4 still. We could also,
which is my record.
We could also go 8-4 still. It's up to the guys on the hill that's practicing. It's up to them. They've got the capability of doing it. We should be 5-0, Buck. We should be 5-0.
I'm just saying.
Do I say we can have the capability?
We have the talent.
8-4?
I agree.
Yes, we do.
We have the talent.
Probably 7-5.
We have the talent to do so.
So let me ask you this, Buck. You said, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that if we lose this week, you think they're going to be more motivated to go into LSU? Or if we have a huge win, 3-point win, 6-point win, whatever it is, a huge win this week,
they're going to be more motivated.
We're going to be more motivated.
I would feel like our back's against the wall.
That's what I'm saying.
I would feel like my back's against the wall.
It's going to be.
We're trying to prove.
It already is.
You got doubters? You doubt me? Let me prove.
Like you said, we could be 5-0, but we're not because we've had huge disappointments.
And let that be.
And that's in their minds, though.
Okay.
So if it comes down to another close game, I think we're going to mess up in the fourth quarter.
When adversity strikes, a champion always responds in a positive way.
I was going there.
If adversity strikes, it's about how you respond to adversity. Are you going to let that motivate you, or are you going to let it disappoint you and get you all down?
Is Sam Pittman the champion?
It's up to you guys.
Is Sam Pittman the champion?
Is Sam Pittman what?
A champion.
He wants to be.
Is he?
A champion of what?
Anything.
There's one team that wins the championship every year, Buck. So 216 teams.
I'm just saying.
There's one team that is the champion.
Has he came close?
I mean, he's had a really good season here, 9-4. I mean, he's not the champion. Everything you could say he's the champion of the Golden Boot that year and the Southwest Classic.
I'm just saying we got to have a change.
Game.
I mean, if we lose this week, we got.
So what are you saying? We fire Sam Pittman and go hire Urban Meyer or Nick Saban?
I mean, I'm not saying we obviously can't make those hires, but we got to make.
But it's not a champion.
We got to take a chance.
It's an
We're going nowhere with Sam, are we? Are we going anywhere with Sam Pittman?
That's what I was saying to you earlier.
Are we going anywhere with Sam Pittman?
This is not a dream job. This is not the Arkansas.
It can be
football. No.
But
it can be.
When I say that, I'm talking about an energy.
We have Walmart and Tyson backing us. It can be.
It can be, but have we been since 1964? No, Buck. You're wanting something to happen that hadn't happened for 50-something odd years, almost 60.
Who was the team that made the national championship game last year? Washington.
Michigan.
Is that a dream job?
I feel like
is that a dream job? Is that a dream job? Answer the question.
It's probably more attractive.
Before last year, and the year before.
No. Before
No.
last year, no.
Hell no. Not even close. That's what I'm saying. If they can get there, we can too.
No. But
yes, we can.
What's
Yes,
the
we can.
But
Yes, we can.
I mean, why you keep talking? You want somebody to respond, well, then you got to stop at some point. Their competition is not the SEC. Arkansas plays 8 ranked teams out of 12. Washington has never even not one season ever in the history of their football program ever played 8 top 25 teams in a season. So their path to get to the championship status is way easier path
100%.
than what Arkansas has to take to pull it off.
100%.
So you can't say
okay. Now
you're comparing apples
I'm
and
about to
orangutans.
completely derail your argument. Missouri, do they have more resources than Arkansas?
No.
Yeah. Okay. What are they ranked? What are they ranked?
They're not a championship team. They've never.
What's their football team ranked right now?
We've been ranked before.
That's what I'm.
Something
that's what I'm saying, and it was in the top 10 last year as well, right? Okay, we can get there. Can we not?
We could because we've done it.
Consistency though.
We haven't.
Is Sam Pittman him?
No,
he's not. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he's pretty consistent at losing.
He's finished
losing games.
He's finished.
That was a softball. Sorry.
Okay, in 4 years, he's not done with his 5th year. This year don't count. In 4 years, how many times has he finished in the top 20?
My argument's
finished
over.
One time. One time. So 25% of the time, he's finished in the top 20. Okay,
that's not going to make it though in the SEC.
What was we ranked the next year?
You sign up for the job.
7 and 6 in the SEC.
You sign up for the job.
43rd.
Yeah, we weren't ranked in the.
No, we weren't ranked. But I'm just saying, as we finished the finished rankings of each year, his best one
42nd,
20, 43, probably 60, 70.
Yeah,
and then down from there on the 3 and 8.
I want to ask my other parts of to my original question.
Pills suck.
Yeah. So Wes is saying Bill suck. I said that, but Wes is saying Tennessee wins by 3. He's got a good feeling. I think this is Wes for sure first game up on the hill, so I'm excited to go up there with him.
Hope you love it, brother. And it's going to be awesome.
He's going to love it because
it's going to be loud.
If you go with Scott,
we're strapping out the stadium.
If you go with Scott, Wes, and start doing Rocky Top,
no. Hey, Wes ain't going to do no.
I'm not drinking any more of your homemade wine.
That's Scott's.
Or his peanut butter whiskey. Right?
I thought it was
homemade wine.
Okay, well, never mind. No, but your peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah.
I got it reversed.
All right, so let me ask you this. So after the game last week against A&M, you said fire Pittman. You were screaming, fire Pittman. You were saying it when we got here, fire Pittman. I know you're kind of using it as
if we don't win this week,
a tactic to get a conversation going, but I think there's some truth behind what you say, and I think that's where you're going. I think you're there. I don't think you want to admit that you're there, but I think mentally, I think you're there. So let me ask you this. If we get blown out, or let me figure out how I want to ask this question. If we get blown out, is that going to put you more toward being public about it, saying yes, fire his ass?
I'm already public about it.
Or is it going to be if we lose, another 1-score game? Which one is going to make you feel more strongly about firing Sam? Is it the close loss again, or is it a blowout loss? Because either way you chalk it up, we don't want to see either one.
Honestly,
we don't want to see
I can't lean any way towards that. Both are terrible. We're getting our ass handed to us, or we're having another close loss like we do every single game. We think we're going to win, and we think we have a huge.
Both is not terrible. What are y'all smoking?
What do you
both
mean?
Is not terrible.
Both is terrible.
Tennessee. At this point, both is terrible.
Both is terrible at this point.
It's chalking up as another
what world do you live in?
I would. It's chalked up
as another 1-score loss.
I would rather just have 100% because a close game is going to get guys and fans like this guy over here saying Sam Pittman is still the savior. No,
I've never said
so
that.
let me reframe your question, Bones, over here. I hope if I had to pick one that would happen, I would want to get blown out. just so we have a direction of saying fire somebody. Because if it's a close game, then we're going to be sitting here next week with Camo saying, oh, he still deserves his job. No, he doesn't. It's the same crap every week.
42, what? 42-24?
42-24.
Okay.
What?
Is that a blowout? Is that a blowout?
It just depends how it happens. Do we score? It's a 3-score.
It's a 3-score game.
Okay, my score 41-27, which is not far from yours. You're a field goal different than me.
Mine's
still a 3-score
Mine's
game.
42-28 to 2 touchdown games.
It depends. Do we have a touchdown late, or did they have a touchdown late? I mean, it depends on how. It definitely depends.
How you win?
It depends. It definitely depends. If we have a trash touchdown late, then yeah, it's a blowout. But if they have a trash touchdown late, then it's a close game. It just depends on that score. I mean, that's so close.
The blowout determines on the final score. Doesn't matter when it happens.
It definitely matters. You have trash points in football.
40 minutes for a reason.
You have trash points in basketball.
Okay, so if you're saying they get up 42-0 at halftime, and we come out and make it 42-17, they don't score another point, 42-24. Where do you go from here?
If you win in basketball by 20,
my predicted score, I'll just say this. I'll make it definitive. No matter how we get to that 42-24 final score, fire Pittman.
Okay, what if it's 28-24 and we lose by 4?
I mean,
what I'm trying to do is make y'all really think about it. And
I'm just going to say this: a loss, fire Pittman.
Well, I'm saying it's definitely not a must-win. I think of any 2 games left on the schedule, Texas and Tennessee, most Hog fans are going to be like, yeah, we're probably not going to win that one.
If we get blown out.
But the other games, if y'all are thinking we could win if we play well, y'all need to root for another team. That's the only 2 for sure probable losses we have left.
It's not about
Ole Miss has proved to be vulnerable against Kentucky. Missouri almost lost to Vandy. LSU almost lost to South Carolina and got lucky to pull that one out. Those 3 teams are very vulnerable, and we can play well
to root for
and win.
It's about having something to root for. Do we have something to root for right now?
Well, I think
a little bit, barely. If we get our ass kicked this week, are you going to want to come back and root?
You said a little bit,
just a little bit. Just a little bit. And it depends on these
with a little bit to root for.
These next 2 games depend, probably make Pittman's season on whether he's fired.
I've got one question for Buck before we get kicked. Because is this a linen shirt? Is this linen?
I don't know.
I like that shirt. That's a nice shirt.
Don't ever wear that again.
Okay, so you're saying
you don't like it?
Time out. Listen, we're an hour and 15 in. I don't care about time. Y'all say we need to stick to an hour. I don't give a shit about it. I don't think we're bound by any time because guess what? People can listen to us. They don't have to watch us. But
we'll get better with cutting these whatever good takes we have and put them on there.
Put them up, whatever. But
that's something we've talked about. So we grab the best 2 to 4 minutes. Let's make it half a bit of sense.
Is he going to do it? Is G going to do it?
I didn't ask him, but yeah,
because I can't do it. I mean, I guess
any of y'all know how to.
But so you're saying it's not. You're saying it's not a must-win game.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not. No,
because
I would say if we lose this game, then that heightens the importance of the LSU game, which I don't mind because we always seem to. Doesn't matter if we throw 3 blind mice out there, we seem to play LSU very well.
Close.
So I'm not freaking out if we lose to Tennessee. Yeah, do I want to be 500 midway through the season? No. I'd like to have a winning record, of course, as a Razorback fan. But, it's not a must-win. It heightens the importance of the LSU game. I think if we win, obviously, with Tennessee, then everybody's going, holy crap, we just beat them. And now we know we can – if we can beat them, we know we can beat LSU. And it makes us probably fall down on our face again. Because I'll say this, if we beat Tennessee – we will not beat LSU. But if we lose to Tennessee, we probably will beat LSU. Because we're going to be so beat up and be so high. So beat up and so high and giving it all we got against Tennessee, we're not going to have time to get up for LSU, heal up, get fresh again to play another really, really tough game against LSU.
No way. Well,
I will say this. I think we win 1 or 2 of these games. I'll go out on a Razorback loving limb like I did.
So obviously you have a loss this week. You think it's going to be?
I think I think lost this week, And
I've got it. Well, I'll next week. Is next week, but I don't have a win. I don't have a win next week.
I've got a loss next week, but I'm going to change my deal next week. But stay tuned.
At least you're honest.
So what you're saying is if we win, you're going to keep the loss, but if we lose, you're going to change it to a W.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well.
And I might change my mind and call us a win next week if we beat Tennessee, but probably not.
When I wrote this question down, I really wanted to reflect on it too and see, I asked myself that same question. Would I rather us lose by 4 or 8 or less? Or would I rather us get blown out?
Is this another night game against LSU again?
It is going to be a night game.
Okay, so we got 2 night games in a row. 2 weeks in a row in favor.
Yeah,
we're winning one of those games.
It says
boys.
either 6
we're winning one of those games.
6
Mark
or 8 stars.
Put it on the refrigerator. Camo from Tuscateers Podcast.
Mark's tape
says we're winning one of 2 of these games.
I hope you're right.
But I asked myself the same question. I said, would I rather us lose by 1 score or less or get blown out? And I'm going to go the truly heartbreaking, where it's going to give me so much hope during the game, is I want to lose. I'd rather lose by 1 score or less. And be
cheering the whole time on the seat.
The whole time.
Yes, absolutely.
And be in the game.
That's the way I was on Saturday.
We played the number.
I was like, we could still win this 2 minutes in until he fumbled, and it was that strip sack.
Yeah.
And
say we get blown out.
I was in the game.
49-7.
Couldn't
Either one of y'all going to be calling for his head?
They were who we thought.
49-7.
Let them off the hook.
We lose 49-7.
49-7.
You going to be calling for his head?
Issues than just Sam Pittman because.
Right, but you gotta fire somebody at some point. You know what I mean?
My take on it is, if we lose this
mid-season,
game, we're not going to fire.
We're not firing anybody to the end of the year. I'm telling you that right now. Put that on your refrigerator too.
You don't think
Yurichik is not firing anybody? If we haven't won it, time out. If we haven't won a game, what's our last game? Missouri. Is that our last game? If we haven't won a game before that game, you don't think they're going to fire Sam Pittman before that?
If we drop Tennessee, drop LSU, and
even lose Louisiana Tech and all that,
he's sure as hell going to get fired if we drop Mississippi State.
Do the math.
Yeah, for sure.
In order for us to not become bowl eligible, we would have to wait until the third to last. We've already won 3 games. To become bowl eligible, there's 3 more games. So we would have to get to after the 9th game and have 10, 11, 12
bowls
left
mean something
for him to fire him.
Okay? Bowls don't mean nothing.
And I'm telling you, if he's waited that long to not fire him, he's going to let the last 3 games of the season play out, and then he'd fire him at the end of the year.
Here's my scenario of if he gets fired. Or
we've already won 3 games.
If your check decides to fire him, this is what happens. We lose to Tennessee, we lose to LSU, and I mean, then we got Mississippi State, and if we lose that game, he better be fired. That's all I got to say.
We're not losing to Mississippi State.
I don't think so either, and I really hope I'm wrong about LSU.
If we do, I would be on board for firing Pitt.
But I'm saying
that's a game you can't give up.
We drop these.
That's a no forgiveness game.
He's out. He's
out.
A
no forgiveness. Or Mississippi State should not win an SEC game.
A lot of people have the A&M game as a no forgiveness game, and we lost that.
The top 25.
It doesn't matter. Our record against them is terrible.
It doesn't matter.
And the way we've lost every single year
team or you're getting fired.
Has been so heartbreaking.
You can't.
A lot of fans. Come on, Caleb. A lot of fans have had us. If we don't win this game, they're giving up on Sam Pittman.
Because I'm one of those. And what they
I've gave up. I'm giving up. I'm giving up.
That's a lot to ask of a football team going, hey, go into Jerrysville and beat this top 25 team, or everybody's going to just call you.
I hope he proves me wrong, but I'm giving up.
But you would be okay. Let me ask you this. At the week 1, my outcome of the season was 8-4.
I'm still going to cheer and watch every game.
Was 8-4. If we go 8-4, are you still on the bus of firing him?
No.
Okay. So
7 wins is what I said. He has to get 7.
There's still a chance for you to change.
For sure, but in my heart, I'm giving up on him. I think it's over. I think we're going to win 6 games this year, and I think it's going to be that. And if we don't fire him after 6 wins, we're doing something wrong up top. I mean,
so if we go 7-6 and win the bowl game, go 6-6 regular season,
fire him,
win the bowl game. We're going to fire him after the bowl game.
Does that bowl game mean a damn thing?
You won a bowl game, you finish with a winning record, you're fired.
Does that bowl game win a freaking thing?
I just don't think that would happen.
It doesn't mean anything.
If you're saying
It's
that
year
should
5.
happen, I'm saying that's not going to happen.
bowl game
And that'd be
doesn't mean
tough
a dang
because this
thing.
year it'd be if not, it's year
Doesn't.
5. It's going into year 6 and something.
What is that going to be?
Something's gotta give.
Dang toilet.
I say go into
the
year
toilet
2
paper bowl.
after
I mean,
finishing
torn.
7.
I'm very torn.
After finishing 7-6 and win your bowl game and going into year 2 with Bobby as
It does take 2 years
for something to actually come to fruition.
On a Bobby Petrino offense. It's going to take you at least.
What did Bobby do his first
2
year
years
with Casey Dick?
Yeah, it's going to be 2
We
years
went
to learn
7-6
his style of offense.
6-7 didn't even.
But with the portal and everything else, you're not going to have the same players. So
it's going to be the tacos for life bowl.
Really good.
I mean, what is this bowl game going to be? Winning 6 games? It's going to be nothing.
The Music City Bowl, the Liberty Bowl, just like we did in 2020.
Doesn't mean a dang thing.
No, I don't think bowl games mean anything either. But
unless you're in the playoffs,
I tell you one thing: I'd rather say we went to a bowl
doesn't
game
even
than
mean
not.
anything there.
I'd rather say we went to one than not. I'd say that, even though
Absolutely.
it
I mean that obviously means more wins.
And it gives the fans a chance to go to a town, with their friends, with their family, hang out, go out on the town, go to the ball game. We get $1 million and a half or more on lower tier bowl games.
I hear Memphis is nice this time.
No.
I'm just saying bowl games used to mean a lot more than they do nowadays. That's for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I mean, that's
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I still think they're not just teetotal pointless and irrelevant like you're saying. I'm not saying that their importance hasn't went down a scotch.
A lot.
But they're not completely irrelevant because if they were,
the reason it's gone down a lot is mostly for the fact that the starters of both teams, at least 4, 5, 6 of them are going to be sitting out, right? They ain't going to play in that game. They don't want to get hurt.
Of the B team coming in, stepping up, and then you get to see what you're going to have coming back.
No, because they're all
that's what I'm saying. It's not as important. No one wants to watch that crap.
They're all going to transfer.
Not if we
had 55 transfer portal players this
Not if
year.
we keep them.
Well,
we got to make it.
We're playing
kind of like Dallas kept Dak Prescott. That was a great 140.
Catch up on NIL, so we got to do something. What's funny is I'm not where you are. I'm not where you are on and just hell bent on keeping Sam, and I'm not where you are on.
You're in between. You're on the damn fence.
Because
you're the problem. You're the problem.
No, here's the thing: is we can still go 8-4 like I predicted at the very beginning, and we can still turn this season around and have
the people sitting on the fence
here in December with a whole different outlook of the season.
Pick a side. I'll pick my side. I'm there. I'm
not there yet.
It's the same old crap. Y'all watch. We're going to lose these next 2 games.
Josh is
and
up
we're going to go in and barely beat Mississippi State.
And you're here.
And y'all going to be, he still has his job.
Okay,
no.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
We're going to smoke Mississippi State.
Last quick question, Buck. If we fired Pittman and we hired somebody, you probably couldn't even tell me who you would want to hire.
It doesn't matter. Take a chance.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be Bobby Petrino.
Take a chance.
Do you think we're going to just jump up in 1 year and be like, "Bam, we're great now"?
No.
You don't
take
think
a
we're
chance,
going to have another rebuilding year or 2
Take a chance.
Fire Sam. I think we have a better chance keeping Sam and having a second year with Bobby Petrino on being successful than firing Pittman, getting a new coach, and being like, "Okay, we're great now." He pulled a rabbit out of his hat, and now he pulled a magic trick.
I think Taylen, what's his name? DeBoer, the Alabama new coach.
Yeah.
Was kind of.
There's not a Kalen DeBoer out there.
No, but he's nixing what you said about rebuilding your. He didn't have to. He
inherited the best program in college football.
I understand that.
Arkansas is not that.
I understand that, which is why we're never going to get. We're never going to get a team where we're going to have the same group of
where
guys.
did he come from?
We're never going to
come from Washington.
Again, what you're talking about?
It's not a dream job.
Washington plays.
Sometimes a diamond.
It's not a dream job, is it?
No, but he did great. Sometimes a diamond comes out of the rough and finds a bone. Sometimes a blind dog.
That's what I'm saying. Take a chance.
One good year with Washington.
We ain't getting there. What's the ultimate goal? To be the best of the best. Are we even close to that? No, we're not. Fire Sam Pittman, take a chance on somebody, whether we're terrible or we're going to be great. Well, at least we're taking a chance.
Who I'm going for if we fire Sam Pittman is John Gruden.
We're never going to get somebody like that. I hope we could, but we're not.
And keep Bobby as the whole coordinator.
We're not.
I want to go after
Bobby will not be the head coach. I'm telling you right now.
No, he won't. But
not a year like this. No.
honestly, if we do fire Sam, we didn't get the Chad Morris hire right when we had to. I've said it time and time again. That's where we all went wrong.
I'd be for T. Will getting the head coach job over Bobby.
No, we're gonna.
I was telling Caleb before this, I would be fine.
We're gonna have to go get an Urban
Meyer's done.
I would be fine with either one of those two as our offensive or defensive coordinators right now to be the head coach. Either one of them would be better than Sam Pittman.
I'd like Gus Malzahn, maybe. I'd go for Gus.
We're not.
If you see him having a better year, and we're not going to do Dion like you said, Buck.
What about
John Gurdon?
What's his name from Arkansas State?
Blake Jones.
Butch Jones?
No.
Blake Anderson?
Blake Anderson.
He's in jail.
He's terrible.
He's in jail right now?
What? Yeah.
No.
He's not in jail.
He's not in jail.
He's got to some jail or something. I don't know what it was. Trust me.
No.
Look that up.
Look it up.
I would have to.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I heard that he,
I mean,
there
there was some trouble with his team. Where did he go after Arkansas State?
I know his wife
think he's
from
coaching anyway.
cancer.
Yeah,
or
his
something.
wife did pass away.
He was coaching in like Nevada
he went
or
somewhere
something
and
way
they
up
got in
in the
trouble.
mountains.
They got in
They
some
got in
recruiting trouble. Yeah, I said.
But he had a
he's
great
in college
record.
football jail.
He had a great record though at Arkansas State and wherever he went.
He's not the guy. If you want him to take over
Nevada,
Pittman,
or whatever.
you need to take another sip.
He got fired for interviewing potential victim after Aggies player's arrest. I don't know what.
He got what? What happened?
This
Was that
headline
right?
says Utah State says Blake Anderson fired for interviewing potential victim after Aggies player arrest. So,
And he was the coach for
He
who?
was contacted something shady.
Nevada?
he was Utah State.
Utah State.
Utah State. He was fired for contacting a potential domestic violence victim and witness to the incident after their football player was arrested and failing to properly report the case. So he just violated code of conduct.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I would not want Blake. That would be like freaking hiring Chad Morris again, dude. You're crazy.
Yeah. If you want him to take over Pittman,
We got.
I'm just saying.
We
That,
gotta go
that
get
was
an
just
Urban-
a
an
spitball
Urban
name. I'm not saying
something
hire
like
him.
Albert. Malzahn's not
Anyway.
going to happen. They're not going to hire Malzahn ever.
well, I mean, I personally, I'm just saying personally, I would
What
like
about
to see-
Jimbo Fisher?
No.
Y'all don't think he's better than Sam Pittman?
I'd rather him run my restaurant than run my football team.
Y'all don't think
I don't know.
Jimbo Fisher is a better resume than Sam Pittman?
Did Jimbo Fisher go to a bowl game last year?
Did he win a national championship?
Did he go to a bowl game?
Did he
last
win a
year?
national championship as a head coach?
Where at?
Florida State.
With whose recruits?
It doesn't matter.
Whose team did he inherit?
It doesn't matter. He was the head coach of a national
He
championship
inherited
team.
one of the best
And he
college
went-
football coaches ever.
I mean,
He
it would be
also
a
had
terrible,
top 10 years there.
it
Like
would
top
be a
10
terrible
teams.
hire.
It would be a terrible.
It would
hire,
be
but
better.
I don't want him.
Be better than Sam Pittman.
At this point,
It would be an upgrade.
I like Sam Pittman more than Jimbo Fisher.
No.
I think we'd have a better situation with
Yeah.
Sam staying on board with T. Will and Bobby.
Take a
Traynor and
chance.
Continue
That's where I'm
what we
going.
have. Continue what we have going down the tracks right now. Then jumping ship and going, okay, let's find a new train for these tracks. Oh, and all the cabooses and all the carts to go along with the train.
Hey, hear me
It's a
out.
big
I
grade.
just-
You gotta
I'd
take a
rather
chance.
stick
This
with
would
what we
never.
got.
This would absolutely never happen. But you know who I wouldn't mind if we did fire Sam. Who I wouldn't mind seeing that running things up on the hill again. This would never happen, and I like him, and that's Sarkisian.
Yeah, but
What,
he's
for
not
Texas?
Texas coach.
He's never leaving
That's why I
Texas.
said it would never happen.
Well,
But I like him.
No,
Yeah.
come
I
on.
like him up there.
That's not even. You can't even think of that. I mean, that's never
That's why I
going to.
said it'll never happen, but it'd be cool. All right,
You
let's
know what? Maybe Mike Norvell, because Florida State's having such a bad year. Mike Norvell for Florida State played for UCA. He's got
They had a
Arkansas
great year
ties.
last
He's
year.
got family here in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And he was really considered 2 years
talk
ago.
about someone
He was
losing
a
a team.
high-profile coach that Florida State went and got from Memphis. I could see maybe Mike Norvell, after a year like he's having in Florida State, coming to Arkansas, if we do fire Pittman, and going, hey, I'm in the SEC. I get a second wind, second chance to prove myself as a head coach and go win with Arkansas. I kind of like a Mike Norvell hire, too.
Yeah, I mean that.
What's the Oklahoma State coach? I know he just beat us.
Mike Gundy.
Yeah, they were talking like we could pay him enough and him come here, but
Mullet, Arkansas coach? Yeah, baby.
that's what I'm
We got
saying.
the brunette Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
It would be
The brunette
consistency,
Joe Dirt.
though. I mean,
Hey, speaking of,
I don't know if he would do so
For
well.
the head hog.
Speaking of Oklahoma State, I know you kind of listened to Ragweed back in the day, Cross Canadian Ragweed.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They're coming back together, and it's going to be them. I think LaRue, Turnpike, they're all going to be playing at Oklahoma State's stadium next April. I got to go. Got to go to that game or that
game.
That's going to be a bad ass.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Love some CCR.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Appreciate everybody out there. If we made it on Facebook, if we didn't, sorry. I don't know.
We'll figure it out maybe next week.
It says we're on there. It says that we're live on Facebook. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Don't know. But anyway, so thanks again. Hope we're all wrong about the game Saturday. Hope it's going to be a dub. But
let's make sure there's the least amount of Rocky Tops on the hill.
Yeah,
this Saturday,
yeah,
and there's
sure.
a lot of Woo Pig Sueys.
We don't want them to take over and hear Rocky Top blaring through Donald W. Reynolds.
No, let's just have a chance to win it in the fourth quarter.
Don't forget, if you're going,
that's what I want. Chance to win it in the fourth quarter.
If you're going, check the strop out sections to wear red or white. We're doing a strop out.
But let's share it on we'll share that on our Facebook page. Too.
I'm sitting in a red section, so
wear red.
Wear red and Woo Pig. So all right, thank you everybody. Go Hogs.
Go Hogs. Woo Pig.